What's up guys, it's Jeffrey. So today I'm going to draw my life. It all began on August 31st, 1994. I was born in the small French city of Montreal in Canada, which is also where both of my parents met. I have an older sister named Karen, which completes my entire family of 4. Before I get into more details, I want to rewind a little. My dad is from Hong Kong, so growing up, he spoke Cantonese. And my mom? She's from Madagascar. She also spoke Cantonese, but she was even more fluent in French since that's what a lot of people spoke there. Because of that, I grew up speaking Cantonese, but mainly French. That's the language people speak here in Montreal, so my parents wanted me and my sister to adapt. The thing is, most Asian parents didn't speak French, so during my childhood, I hung out with every ethnicity except Asians, because most of them usually hung out together and spoke Chinese, and I couldn't relate to that. Nonetheless, I made a lot of cool friends during elementary school. One of my best friends invited me over and showed me his GameCube and Nintendo 64. Yup, he had both gaming consoles. I thought it was so fun I asked my parents to get me one, but they couldn't afford that, so they would often drop me off at my friend's just to play games. I didn't really mind it. My friend was really good and it was almost more fun watching him play and have him teach me. Later on, I found out my classmate Ralph lived across the street from me. He had this basketball hoop. Joshua, another friend from school, just moved nearby at that time too. I'd often look outside my window to see if they were playing basketball, and when I saw them, I'd go join and would play until sunset. When I didn't hang out with friends though, I'd watch TV shows, animes to be exact. I found them so cool, I would draw them out. My parents only purchased English TV channels, and that's how they made me learn how to speak English. In school, however, I wasn't doing too well. My grades were below average, while my sister Karen always had straight A's. My sister was only 2 years older than me, but she was really mature for her age. She was smart, well-mannered, talkative, and because of that, my parents always compared me to her. I quietly envied her. In the meanwhile, my parents took ballroom dance classes every week as a hobby. Since they didn't want to pay for a babysitter, they would bring me along. I'd be on the side watching while doing this thing called origami. A friend taught me how to do that in school, so that's what I did to pass time. Since I wasn't doing too well with my grades, my parents secretly enrolled me into ballroom dance classes to see if I could be better at that. When I learned the news, I cried for literally 48 hours.
Jeffrey!
To me, even though I was 8 years old, ballroom dancing was the least manly sport out there. My friends play hockey or basketball, so I never told them I danced. I was embarrassed. After a few classes though, I was performing really well. I started entering dance competitions and won first place almost every time.
Really special.
I was finally good at something, and for once, it felt like my parents were proud of me. For high school, my parents enrolled me into a private school. It was predominantly Caucasian. Yep, majority of the students were white. It made no difference to me though, since I was so used to hanging out with non-Asians anyways. But for many of them, having me around was different. So, I got bullied, verbally and physically. During breaks or recess, students insulted me, pushed me around. I tried not to let that bother me. I fell in love with this girl at the time, and that really helped cope with things. We were really close. So close, people teased me about making it Facebook official. But days later, she started dating this other guy who I guess was more popular. It broke my heart. To make matters worse, the boyfriend somehow learned I had a crush on her. He stopped me in the hallway and publicly shouted, "You're Asian! Look around! You will never amount to anything." I didn't cry or anything, but for some reason, I concluded that what he said was the reason why girls wouldn't date me. During weekends, Joshua, Ralph, and I still met up to play basketball. Ralph's parents just got a camera and he asked his sister to film us do basketball tricks. He said he'll upload the video on this site called YouTube and send a link to me later. It was my first time hearing about this website. A few days later, Ralph sent me the video and I loved it. I immediately met up with the boys to tell them, and they suggested me to watch these 2 other funny guys they just discovered. The first one was called Ryan Higa, and the second, Kev Jumba. So I did, and I was blown away. Yeah, they were really funny, but there was something even more captivating that made me keep watching. It was the first time I ever saw other Asians fluently speak English in all of my 12 years. So they became my role models. Until this point, I never told anyone I was a ballroom dancer. One day, my grades weren't doing well, so I had to stay after history class. The teacher asked if I had any hobbies, and after hesitating, I said I was a competitive ballroom dancer outside of school. She seemed really passionate about it, so I opened up even more. A few days later, in the middle of my French class, the intercom rang and my name was called. I thought I was in trouble. But it was actually to tell me that my history teacher secretly signed me up to our school talent show. I immediately said no thanks out of fear. All of a sudden, I was surrounded by the girls that were organizing the show. They insisted that I should, so I gave in. My sister attended the same school, so I asked her to perform with me. People loved it. From then on, I was labeled as the dancer, which I didn't mind. Sadly, that gave my bullies another reason to mock me, saying I was a girl for dancing, but although their words were degrading, I noticed I wasn't physically bullied anymore. So I guess things were getting better. I still had trouble finding my crowd though. One day, this guy I wanted to be friends with pushed another student in front of me because he was in his way. Everyone around laughed. I was confused, but I concluded that that's what I had to do to be acknowledged. So gradually, I became a bully. A guy joked about me once, so I pushed him so hard against the locker, shouting, "Say that again, and I'll beat you up." He almost teared up. I thought acting tough and cocky was what made people cool. I think deep inside, I just wanted to prove myself or others that I could be loved. But I was wrong. Honestly, I was more scared that people would see through my fake image and fight back. Ironically, instead of making more friends, I pushed the ones I already had, and other students didn't want to be near me. Even this girl I had a crush on avoided me. So one night, I messaged her asking, "Can you be honest and tell me what's wrong with me?" She answered, "You're just not a nice person anymore. You're not being yourself." That left me speechless. Truth is, I didn't know who I was. I just wanted to fit in. I thought the person I was before was the reason I was rejected in the first place. What I thought defined me, well, my bullies ridiculed. I didn't know how to express myself anymore. From that point on, I thought if I couldn't make myself happy, I'd try to make others happy. I started to socialize and say hi to people I found more quiet, bullied, or rejected. Unexpectedly, that was the first time I ever saw any of them smile. Seeing that made me really happy for some reason. So I kept doing it just for that, to see them smile. I didn't realize the impact at the time, but at the year-end gala, I was voted as the most respectful and social person by my classmates. Maybe that's what life's all about. Happiness doesn't always come from receiving, but from giving. When I turned 15, my sister kept nagging me about getting a job and to start paying for my own things. It was annoying, but I admired her for being responsible. So I applied around and got my first job at a restaurant as a salad boy. I made soup, cut fruits, and made salads. I worked there during the summertime until school restarted. In my last year of high school, a friend told me to audition for the school musical because he didn't want to do it alone. I never sang in front of people before, but auditioned anyways to try something new. I've never been so nervous, but eventually I was chosen as the second lead role, and my friend, he got the lead. The experience was life-changing. I found out I love singing. Simon, a friend in my school bus, heard I liked to sing, so he invited me over to his house where he had built his own little music studio. He started improvising some crazy jazzy music on his keyboard. I was fascinated. Turns out he was ranked as the best piano player in Canada within his age category. While he was playing, I would sing on top of the music and he would always yell at me saying, "Wow, this could be a hit on the radio. Keep going." Honestly, I had no idea what I was doing, but his comments made me feel good. So almost every night, I'd go over to his place and we'd play music. While I was in the musical, I met this girl. I thought she was out of my league, so I didn't think much of it, but we got along so well, we started dating and she became my first girlfriend. An amazing one too. She did a really good job at making me feel loved, and I thought a relationship would last a very long time. However, I too often let my insecurities get the best of me, which led to unnecessary conflicts. So after a few months, we broke up. I learned love is a huge responsibility. So from that point on, I told myself I'd make sure I heal my wounds before getting into another relationship. Now, throughout my entire high school years, I never had a dedicated group of friends I'd hang out with. From math class to lunch, recess, and even outside of school, I jumped from one group of friends to the other. I was always the guy on the side listening on conversations and have that occasional awkward smile when I saw the others laugh. I never had a voice. I was always the follower. I think that's why by the end of the school year, I yearned to express myself. So with the money I saved up from working at the restaurant, I bought my first HD camera and decided to start making videos on YouTube for just myself to watch. Days later, comments from people I didn't know started coming in. I couldn't believe being myself was okay for once. I couldn't believe people listened. I started to imagine people smiling from watching my videos, just like the students I'd say hi to. That made me really happy. So yeah, through these videos, I slowly healed my scars and accepted myself again. Joking and talking about my insecurities always felt like 1,000 pounds lifted off my shoulders. Call me weird, but watching myself felt like I was meeting the real Jeffrey for the first time. And that's what motivated me to keep going. I just wanted to know more about me. That's why you might have seen a common theme throughout all my videos. They're either personal stories I connect to or insecurities I've encountered. For college, I didn't really want to sign up because there wasn't a program I liked. I just wanted to be a performer at that point, but my parents really wanted me to get a degree, so I enrolled into the closest thing I could find, film class. In the middle of my second semester, this TV show called Canada's Got Talent came along, and I convinced my sister to audition with me for ballroom dancing. Crazy enough, we made it past the semifinals. The day we got back home, I received a call from the Ellen DeGeneres Show. They said they loved one of my YouTube videos and wanted to invite me to be on their show in Los Angeles. I said no. Just kidding. I said, yes, please. Being on one of the biggest talk shows in America is a dream come true. I was freaking out. It would be my first time in LA and my first time taking a plane on my own. After these few trips, I've missed so many days of school I couldn't keep up anymore. I also wasn't happy with the program I was in, so I decided to quit and concentrate on YouTube full time. This one quote kept resonating in my head. The biggest risk you will ever take is not taking one at all. One of the friends I met in film class named Ben told me to go for it, but that was it. The rest of my family and friends were disappointed and mad at the idea of not getting a college degree. Even my friends' parents got skeptical after hearing the news. My best friend's dad scolded me saying, "If I don't see you in school next semester, you don't come back to our house anymore." A week later, my film class teacher called. Apparently the word got around that I wasn't coming back to school. I actually performed above average in his class, so I was interested to hear what he had to say. He was no different though, saying I'm making a huge mistake. I stopped opening up about my feelings and vision at that point. I couldn't reason with anyone, but truth is, they weren't wrong. My career choice is risky and I barely had results. Soon after, me and my friend Ben from film class signed up for this online competition to find the next internet icon. We convinced 2 other friends to join us. It was in Los Angeles though, so we had to pay from our own pockets. It was a huge opportunity to me. It felt like my chance to prove my peers I made the right decision. To top it off, the main judge on the show was also a very successful YouTuber whom I looked up to. And also, he's the first one I ever watched, Ryan Hiiiiiiiiii. I couldn't believe that after all these years, he would now be on the other side of the screen watching one of my own videos. Unfortunately, the judge's comments were mostly negative. We didn't even make it past the first round and flew back home. I never felt so much like a failure. Not only did I fail in front of a guy I looked up to, I let my friends down for making them invest in this too. To make things worse, all the money I saved up, gone. I couldn't take any other risks, so for the following year, I applied to find jobs. A lot of them. At one point, I was balancing 4 jobs working 60 to 70 hours a week. During the day, I was an Apple computer salesman. At night, I did customer service for another company. I taught students how to ballroom dance. I was a part-time extra on a TV show. On top of that, I tried to make videos on YouTube. Some would say that's absurd, but for some reason, dealing with clients wasn't as bad as facing friends and family who looked down on me. Because of the lack of time, I didn't practice ballroom dance as much. My ranking started dropping, and after 10 years of dancing, I stopped. It was December 6th of 2013. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was taking a walk for some fresh air and my phone nudged. It was a notification. Kev Jumba is now following you on Twitter. A few seconds later, a message followed. Been watching your vids for a while. Someone tweeted me your last one. Wanted to say thanks and keep the dream alive. I started shaking. My all-time role model has been watching my videos this whole time and I didn't know. I took a breather and messaged him back asking if we could hop on a video call to get some advice for my career. He agreed. I said a lot of nonsense, but after half an hour, we've talked about the ups and downs of being an artist. After that call, I had a weird idea to try revisiting Los Angeles, but I put that thought in the back of my mind. I also wanted to improve my singing, but didn't want to pay for vocal lessons because it was expensive. I saw auditions being held at a local church to be in their youth choir. I auditioned, got accepted, and every week, that's how I practiced my vocals. A few months later, the choir was invited to serve food and sing for the homeless, and I was chosen as the lead singer. I thought we'd be performing for about a dozen of people, but over 100 showed up. To think that we were all innocent babies for once. No different. That experience was really touching. It gave me a feeling of purpose and made me feel so thankful for what I had despite the hardships. It also made me rekindle the idea of moving to Los Angeles. So weeks later, I quit all my jobs and moved to LA. I guess the media also falsely convinced me that that's where the dream was. Unfortunately, I miscalculated my plans. LA was a lot more expensive than I expected. I ended up sleeping on a bunk bed in a small room with 3 other friends for over a month. Eventually, me and one of those roommates found an apartment that fit our budget. It was in a small city not too far from LA called Hawthorne. At the time, I somehow connected with this more established YouTuber, Lamar Wilson. He was one of the rare YouTubers that believed in me, and when he learned I was struggling with my move, he often paid me Uber rides and invited me to have dinner at his apartment. He also had game consoles, so that kept my mind off things. We'd talk a lot about what I could do next, and he'd try guiding me with my future goals. I'm really thankful for him. However, 4 months went by and, well, nothing really happened. I didn't have any plans. I cried and questioned my move more than anything. Out of desperation, I messaged this one person whom I thought could give me some mentorship. He happened to be my favorite YouTuber, Ryan Hiiiiiiiii. Yeah, he also happens to be one of the most successful and that seen me fail on the show he was a judge on a year back, remember? How unrealistic was I? But within seconds, he replied and asked if I would like to act as an extra on a video he was working on. I immediately said yes and went to his place. After that, I went back home reminiscing what just happened. The following day, I called my dad. I admitted to him that I wasn't really happy in LA and I was barely getting any results. He suggested I should try moving to Las Vegas to be closer to Ryan and learn from him. So I did. A month went by learning from Ryan and my time was up. See, because I'm Canadian, I can't stay over 6 months in the United States or else I'd run into legal trouble. So I returned home to Canada. From there, even though my family didn't fully understand it, they slowly accepted my career choice. I think they saw how much I went through and sympathized. Turns out, they were so hard on me because they were just worried, and ultimately, that's because they loved me. I kept making videos from that point on, but had a lot of ups and downs. I wanted to be a successful artist, but thought, how can I become a big fish in the sea if I'm not even in the same sea? Also, from those 6 months spent in the United States, I once again spent most of my savings. I felt stuck again. A lot of people were curious about why I never asked Ryan to collaborate with me while I was with him. Well, although it could have helped, after seeing him work, I knew I had to work 100 times harder to even think about being in the same league. To have immediate recognition for something I don't feel like I earned makes no sense to me. I think trying to be the best artist is what matters. So I reconnected with my friend Ben from film class. He happened to be getting started with his own YouTube channel, so we'd encourage each other. The only thing we could do is to try doing our best work. Despite that, I still had a lot of mood swings. I figured it was because I wasn't growing into the person I wanted to be. You see, with this full-time YouTube journey, I let go of a lot of things I liked. And when I realized that, I signed up for a Chinese school I saw in the newspaper to learn Mandarin. I figured it was time to reconnect with my roots since I rejected it for so long. I then signed up to learn hip-hop dancing. It's something I've been wanting to try for a while. I started taking singing lessons, playing the guitar, and even tried acting. It was hard going back into student mode, but it was a fun challenge to me. I learned education will follow you forever, whether you're in a school or not. It kept me humble understanding that. It also made me have a better vision on what artist I want to become. And on May 28 of 2016, I uploaded my first live cover to YouTube. Very quickly, it became one of my most positive talked about video of the year. I think it was exactly what I was missing in my life, to perform again. Fast forward to today, I now realize that what defines me was never about the medals, people's approval, or making the least amount of mistakes. What defines me is how I chose to confront every situation I faced and learn something from it. Oh, remember some of the people that bullied me? I got in touch with several of them. I learned they never had bad intentions. They were just blinded by their own insecurities and acted in ways that didn't define them. So how could I not forgive them? They were no different than me. How ironic. Although few more wounds appeared, I think the bigger ones healed. I don't know what challenges are ahead. Nobody knows. All I know is that if God put it in my path, it's because He'll give me the strength to face them. And you know what? I'm excited to suffer again. Growth will never be easy, but I also believe it's life's biggest gift. Who knows? Maybe you're the one someone desperately needs right now. Anyways, this video is called a draw on my life, but I feel like my life just barely started. I truly believe that every one of us has a purpose. Everyone has a voice. You just wouldn't know until you actually start using it. So why am I making this video now? Well, there's still a lot of things I want to learn and improve. And I guess that's scary to me. So this video, is it one of those insecurities I want to let go of? Maybe. Or maybe it's just that I can imagine someone smile for the first time while watching this one. And perhaps that's life's purpose after all.